My name is Valerie Elizabeth Young. I reside in East St. Louis, Illinois. In the military, I served approximately 8 years. I served 2 years with the Army Reserve, 8 years with the National Guard. My longest deployment was in Iraq. I did serve at Katrina, and the rest of my military career, I stayed stateside. I came home around 2010. By that time, I've had two children. My son was born 2010, my daughter was born 2011. By the time my son was 6 months years old, and I was having issues with readjusting back into society. I'm a veteran. I suffer from PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. I've been having problems trying to just be myself. You know, I've had issues. I've been involved with the VA, but I felt I had to disconnect with my children. With that being said, I also wanted my children to be homeschooled, have that intimate environment so we all can grow and communicate. So it would be like all of us getting help where it's needed. One day at home, I live in an urban neighborhood, someone was doing an outreach program. They were going around door to door passing out pamphlets. And one of the pamphlets said SIUE Head Start. I was interested in what the outreach person said. I did a little research on Head Start itself because I never heard of Head Start, to be honest. I probably have, but it's been overlooked. So I zoomed in on Head Start. I did the research. I called the number. Someone immediately got back to me. I interviewed, and I got accepted to Head Start. While accepted to Head Start, we had a home visitor by the name of Sandy Beaver. So she came to the home, and it was a nice experience. I met her, very respectful woman. And I was overwhelmed, still adjusting to my depression, my PTSD, and just everything. And I would kind of lash out at my children. And it wasn't the children, it was me, on how to adjust back into society and just become stable. And I just wasn't where I wanted to be. You know, I had many thoughts going through my mind, some good, some not so well. My military cohorts committing suicide, so forth. Anyway, Sandy noticed that. She noticed my hurt, she noticed my pain, but she was still there to provide me with the resources needed. She was there to be patient. She was very respectful. So as time progressed, I started to loosen up, the children started loosening up, and we all began to learn and develop on all of our communications, because I have communication skills. It's just I lash out. I have triggers, which is basically I see one thing, but I react in a more defensive way. It was times where I would kind of raise my voice to yell at the children, and it's not that I meant to, but that's just the first reaction that I had. So as time progressed, I developed. We went to a socialization event, and the children were playing, and I was like, children, it's time to go. And, you know, they didn't listen, and, you know, we in public. And so what I did, I got down on one knee, and I told them in a nice tone, I said, Sultan, Virtuous, it's time to go. And they came and they listened, and they just, it was just one of the happiest moments in my life. They actually listened to what I said, and I told them in a tone that they understood. See, with Head Start, by me learning all that I learned, getting assistance from the VA, it really is helping. It's a coping experience that I'm doing with Head Start and with my mental illness. So the children are learning, they're expanding, they're listening to what I'm saying. We are interacting, you know, doing crafts that is, you know, fun, and they love Sandy. You know, they when Miss Sandy comes in the door, Sandy, 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 they're happy, they full of joy, and I am too, because I appreciate all the years that she put into me. And by my children being active in Head Start, it allowed me to be active in Head Start. It allowed me to take leadership positions, from the policy council to the parent committee to being a parent ambassador, and now the parent of the year. And you know, for Head Start to do that for me, I just wanted to let the staff know I have been listening all those years. I have been implementing what you guys been, you know, telling me, and I'm just amazed.